Gilmore Girls and Christopher.
Why couldn't Christopher still go to Princeton?
I've been summoned to give my 2 cents. Here they are. One is a shiny new nugget from having recently watched the series for the very first time. The other from having worked on the show and things that I remember. Full disclosure, I am not an authority on the development of these characters, so I will gladly accept any of your input, especially if you think that I am wrong. Back it up. Give me proof. Tell me what you think, because let's figure this out. Alana's question is, why didn't Christopher go to Princeton? After all, he didn't have to take care of the baby. Lorelai ran off, so therefore he was not saddled with the responsibilities of taking care of a young child, and so he had nothing to prevent him from being able to follow his dreams. Now my question is, were these dreams his dreams, or were they the dreams of his parents? Few things we do know from other things that Lorelai has said is that she ended up going to school as long as she possibly could. Everyone knew that they were together. This was no secret. They were an item, which means that his reputation probably was spoiled as much as hers. They were also both 16. This was not the time they were applying to colleges. I could see his academic advisors not wanting to give him recommendations based on the fact that he knocked up some 16-year-old kid. I could also see Lorelai just packing it up in the middle of the night, kind of messing with his head. Maybe he wasn't in that kind of place to be able to attend school at that point in time. Now let's also backtrack. We saw a scene of them before she gets knocked up where they're walking through the house talking about backpacking through Europe. And then there was a scene on the stairway where they were listening to their parents arguing about what was going to happen. And they were just like, we're just going to do what we want to do. Potentially, I could see Strobe as saying that you, Lorelai, were the distraction to Christopher that made him not want to follow his dreams. It's not to say that he couldn't potentially go to college. Obviously, he could have if he really wanted to, but did he want to go to college? Am I dreaming this last part? I remember Lorelai also saying that she stayed in high school until that baby popped out. She stayed as long as she possibly could, which meant that everybody knew that her and Christopher were together. Let me know in the comments what you think while I share some fun facts from behind the scenes from the flashback episodes. Okay, so I just rewatched the scene where they walk into the Gilmore mansion and they're talking all about a backpacking trip to Europe. He is already planning to leave and not go to Princeton, to take a gap year, which obviously turned into more than just a gap year. He says, I'm out of here the second that diploma hits my hand. He is already planning his escape. Also, fun fact, while the actress that played young Lorelai in real life has brown eyes, she was wearing blue contact lenses, which you can't actually see because, fun fact, they did tone down the footage of that scene. I did share this recently when I was talking all about the portrait. If you didn't catch that video, check it out on my YouTube. Lorelai is the one trying to get him to go to college. If anything, it's young Christopher that's the bad influence on Lorelai, not the other way around. Okay, I just got to the scene with Strobe and Francine, and fun fact that you may or may not have noticed, that the actress that plays Francine played Peter Petrelli's mom in Heroes. Who is Peter Petrelli? Played by Milo Ventimiglia. Francine is urging them to send young Lorelai away so she could basically give up the baby for adoption. Those of you wondering why Francine and Strobe are not a part of Rory's life, that is right there. That's right there. They didn't want to be a part of her life from the beginning. Richard then just decides without anyone's input. And when you see them on the stairs, Laura's like, out of here the moment I can leave. And he is not on board. He is the one that is like, no, I can just get a job. In that moment, Christopher is going to do whatever his parents want them to do, but Lorelai doesn't. I don't know. Is Christopher the bad guy? Is he not the bad guy? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.